All right, so you're ready to dive in. Today, we're looking at...
Always ready.
Okay, good. Today, we're going to be looking at how ditching the need to be perfect, can actually make you a better learner.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're taking this from an article came out just the other day called
Oh, cool.
Embracing Imperfection and Unlocking Effective Learning from January 20th, 2025.
Oh, okay.
And I think we all feel that pressure sometimes.
Well, yeah, definitely.
To be perfect, especially when we're trying to learn something new.
For sure.
So hopefully by the end of this deep dive, we'll all be a little bit better at learning things.
Yeah, and a little less stressed, right.
Exactly.
So the author of this article kind of starts off addressing this idea that a lot of us have.
Okay.
That to be successful, you have to be perfect. And what if that's actually kind of holding us back?
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Like afraid to make a mistake.
Afraid to even start,
Totally.
So what do we do instead? What does the article suggest?
Well, the article suggests kind of shifting our focus to what they call completionism.
Completionism?
Yeah. Like instead of trying to be perfect, just try to finish it.
Okay.
And that can actually help.
Instead of getting bogged down?
Yeah. Just like, I got it done.
Yeah.
Move on.
Like a first draft, say.
Exactly.
You don't need to make it perfect.
Right. If you're writing something for work,
just
get that first draft down.
Yeah.
And then you can go back and refine it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Get that momentum going.
Exactly. And the article also talks about how mistakes are actually
interesting.
really valuable learning experiences.
Okay. So how so?
It's kind of like like the author says, they're like blind spots.
Blind spots, okay.
Yeah. They show us where we don't understand something.
So if we look at them as a good thing,
okay.
As
instead of a failure.
Yeah. Then they can actually help us learn more.
So if I get a question wrong
on
a practice test or something,
I
should, instead of just saying, oh, I got it wrong, I should actually dig in and see why.
Yeah, and figure out why. Why did I get that wrong?
So I don't get it wrong again.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a good strategy.
Yeah.
So are there any other techniques the article suggests?
Yeah, they talk a lot about active recall.
Active recall, okay.
Have you ever heard of the Feynman technique?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the Feynman technique is basically
okay.
You try to explain what you're learning,
Mm-hmm.
You were teaching it to someone who doesn't know anything about it.
Oh, okay.
Like a child.
Interesting.
And when you do that, you're forced to.
It forces you to.
Yeah, really think about it.
Really understand.
Yeah, see where you're confused.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and then you can go back and study those areas.
Okay.
They also talk about using flashcards, which is kind of a similar...
Oh, yeah, flashcards. It's
pretty old school.
Yeah, but they work because when you have to actively recall the information...
It helps it stick.
Yeah, it strengthens those neural connections.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that Feynman technique.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So the article also mentions your study environment.
Yes.
It's where you are when you're trying to learn.
Big time. They say it's really important
to
have a distraction-free zone.
So no phone.
Yeah, put your phone on silent, put it in another room.
Close the door.
Yeah.
What about, I saw they suggested using analog tools.
Yes.
Like pen and paper.
Pen and paper.
Which is...
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because we live in this digital world.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's on the computer.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something to be said for it. I think so.
Just having that pen and paper?
I think it just helps you focus.
Yeah.
You're not tempted to check your email or...
You're not going to get a notification?
Exactly, yeah. And then the author also talks about
Okay.
using visual aids.
Oh, okay. Like
diagrams or even drawing your own pictures.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
It can really help.
Help you remember things.
Yeah, especially for visual learners. If you can create a mental picture.
Oh, like a mental anchor.
Yeah.
To go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What about testing?
Oh, yeah?
The article talked about testing.
They're big on testing.
Okay, so what do they say?
They say test yourself early and often.
Even if you're not ready?
Yeah, even if you don't feel like you know everything yet.
Yeah.
Just take a practice test. See where you're at.
See what you know.
Yeah. Think of it as a diagnostic tool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It'll show you where your weak spots are.
So you know what to study.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then they also talk about consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah, instead of trying to cram everything in,
right.
at the last minute.
Just do a little bit every day.
Exactly. Even if it's just like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah. It's better to do a little bit every day.
Okay.
Than to try to do everything all at once.
That's a good tip, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like, don't burn yourself out.
Right. And it's more sustainable, too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So it sounds like the article is really all about, like, changing how we think about success when it comes to learning.
Exactly.
It's not about being perfect.
Right. It's about the journey.
Yeah, it's about the process.
Yeah, and it's about...
It's okay to make mistakes.
Yes. Mistakes are good.
Yeah, mistakes are like stepping stones.
Yeah, exactly.
To get to where you need to be.
That reminds me of that quote by Thomas Edison. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
Yeah, that's a good one. And what I also thought was really interesting is that, the author kind of found the joy in learning again.
Yeah.
Once they stopped trying to be so perfect.
It makes it fun.
Yeah.
It's not so stressful.
Right. It's not about proving anything to anyone.
Right.
It's just about, like,
learning for the sake of learning.
Yeah, learning for the sake of learning.
Exactly. And, that made me think about John Dewey. He said, we do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience.
That's good.
So as you're kind of going through your own learning, think about how you can embrace those imperfections.
Yeah.
And turn those mistakes into positive things.
Yeah, that's a great takeaway.
And what small thing can you do today to start putting these ideas into practice?
Good question.
Even if it's just like picking up a pen and paper instead of your laptop.
Right.
And how can you, kind of build in that reflection time?
Make it a habit.
Yeah, make it a habit to think about.
Thinking about what you've learned.
Yeah, what went well, what didn't go so well.
Yeah.
And how you can improve.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So listeners, take that to heart and embrace imperfection.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
Until next time.
See ya.